Hello and welcome back to Off Grid Style. I'm Nikki and I'm so glad to have you here. Today we are discussing a very scary topic, especially given the insecurity that so many people are facing with food today. And that is that we are 9 meals away from societal collapse. This is something that has been studied historically for a long, long time. There's also an old adage that we're 3 meals away from anarchy. So 1 full day of, if you eat 3 meals a day, of no food and you will have anarchy. This is kind of scary, and actually it's very scary. And that's what we're going to look into today, is what exactly happens and what does this all mean? So let's get started. So the idea behind this is that as soon as people are faced with massive amounts of food insecurity, you suddenly lose the stability of society. Additionally, when they are facing food shortages, society begins to unravel very quickly. So we're going to look into this concept and the historical relevance of this concept, as well as the psychological and sociological factors that contribute to this being a truth, an actual thing, that we're only 9 meals away from societal collapse. If you enjoy this video, please consider liking, commenting, and subscribing. Thank you. So the actual saying that we are only 3 meals away from anarchy has been quoted by many, many people. One off the top of my head is Vladimir Lenin in Russia. It is often attributed to several historical different contexts, including the French Revolution. It suggests the idea that when pushed to true and real hunger, the immediate thing that is going to be a downfall is going to be society. It suggests that food scarcity and people beginning to go hungry for long periods of time will lead to civil unrest and chaos when people are on the brink of hunger. Throughout history, there have been numerous instances where food shortages triggered social upheaval. Just ask Marie Antoinette. One of the most iconic examples is the French Revolution. In the late 18th century, the French faced widespread food shortages and economic hardship. This resulted in anger and civil unrest among the population, and it led to a revolution that eventually overthrew the monarchy. This is just one example of how, when the masses are angry enough, they can truly make a massive difference in the way society works or doesn't work. Then there are the psychological and sociological factors involved with this whole concept of we're only 3 meals away from chaos. And that includes fear and anxiety. Of course, fear of where your next food is going to come from, or if you're going to get any food, and the anxiety related to that can get very, very strong to the point where it's debilitating. This emotional distress can lead to unrest and even violence as people look to secure their basic needs for themselves and their loved ones. And then there is social unrest. Food scarcity will create competition among people who live in the same community, maybe even know each other, for limited resources. And when people feel that their survival and their survival of their loved ones is threatened, they will ultimately resort to actions that you would never think that they would, like rioting, looting, and protests, assault, all kinds of things that you would never think these people would do. And then there are the economic impacts, as food scarcity can destabilize economies as food prices rise and supply chains break down. This situation can, of course, lead to widespread unemployment and financial instability, further putting gas on the flames of the fire of social discontent. And then there are political consequences when your political leaders fail to address the issue of food security concerns. They risk losing the support of their citizens at the very least. You could have political upheaval, coups, revolutions can all be started simply through hunger-driven people who have had enough. So what about the modern implications? The right now, today, this is what we need to worry about, implications of this concept of 3 meals away from chaos, 9 meals away from social collapse. Well, obviously, modern societies are a whole lot better at food distribution and production and all of those things. But there's been some unraveling of that whole dynamic, if you will. And while modern societies obviously have made huge advancements in food distribution and all those other things, keep in mind that it's a very, very short amount of time that it's going to take for those that are hungry to rise up. And right now, 60% of Americans face some sort of food insecurity. Think about that for a minute. That means that on any given day, 60% of America does not feel that they're going to be able to either eat themselves or provide for their loved ones 3 meals that day. So in the interconnected world that we live in, it is vital that everyone provide for themselves first, as far as trying to do sustainable things, grow your own food, stockpile food, all of those other things, so that you don't have to be one of the masses out there trying to find food, trying to find limited resources, and suddenly you're caught up in this whole entire unrest thing. And this is why it's also very, very important to pay attention to the news and not the mainstream media. Read, research, go online, find articles, read about what's going on in the food world so that you understand that as time goes on, other countries that normally give us food, for instance, are stockpiling it all themselves. That's frightening. In other words, we're going to face a food shortage shortly. And a lot of people don't realize it, even more of a food shortage than we already have. So the best thing you can do is keep stockpiling, keep putting that food away as much as you possibly can. And this way, you won't be part of this chaos that is going to occur. You will be able to protect yourself and protect your loved ones. Well, I hope you liked the video. It was a very short and sweet one. I thought it was interesting, and I liked the quotes, and that's kind of what got me researching this. I had read the quote by Lenin and then went back and found the historical backing behind it. And so that's where I got the idea for the video. Please let me know what your thoughts are regarding food security and regarding the fact that we're only 9 meals away from social collapse and 3 meals away from chaos and anarchy. Those are frightening things to think about. And this is historical. This is not something I just decided to make up today. So let me know. You know I'll answer you back. Like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff, and I'll see you again soon.